This lesson is about linking words. For reference, see your study box on pages 195 to 196. For a complete list of linking words, you can see your study box in your textbook. First, we are going to discuss giving examples. Usually when giving examples, you use for example and for instance. For instance, this is a correct sentence. You can also replace for instance in that sentence with for example. For example, this sentence is correct. You use namely to refer to something by name. There are two problems, namely the expense and the time. You name the fact that there are two problems, and after the semicolon, or the colon in this case, you say namely the expense and the time, thereby using namely to refer to those two problems. There are also linking words for adding information. The words are placed at the top of this slide. Please note that you never put a comma before and when listing information. As you can see in this example, we discuss training, education and the budget. Do not place a comma before and. Also and not only are two words that are often used together. We are concerned not only by the cost but also by the competition. Here you use also to add something, some piece of information, to not only. And also note the construction as well as the cost. We are concerned by the competition, or we are interested in the cost as well as the competition. This shows that you can place as well in at the front of the sentence and in the middle of the sentence. There are various words you can use to summarize, namely in short, in brief, in summary, to summarize, in a nutshell, to conclude, and in conclusion. Please note that in a nutshell is very, very informal. An example could be that you made a list of problems or things to do, and then you would end that list with, in short, this is a very long list to complete. Linking words for sequencing ideas are, for example, the former, the latter, firstly, secondly, finally, the first point is, and lastly, and the following. This is usually used when you want to list various ideas, pieces of information, or facts. It is very easy to use this. Firstly, you can use, for example, a linking word. Secondly, you would use another linking word, namely secondly. And to conclude, you can use finally. When looking at firstly, secondly, and you have longer lists, you can also say thirdly, fourthly, fifthly, and so on. This slide shows several linking words for giving a reason. You can look at these examples and the example sentences in your own time, but please note the final bullet point. If you want to follow these words with a clause, a construction of a subject, a verb, and an object, you must add the words the fact that. For example, owing to the fact that our homework was not finished, we could not continue. Of course, you can see that our homework was not finished is a passive, which means that you could add by us after this, in which case us is the subject, our homework is an object, and was finished, or in this case was not finished, is the verb. Because of this clause, this construction, you need to add the fact that. Linking words for giving a result are therefore, so, consequently, this means that, and as a result. You use this after you have posed several ideas or arguments. For example, we did not do our homework. As a result, we could not continue. Here it is very clear that as a result of you not finishing your homework, we could not continue. Again, you can take a look at these linking words for contrasting ideas in your own time, but please note the difference between but and however is that but is more informal. It is also usually not used at the front of a sentence. However is used at the front of a sentence. Then the final bullet point, although, despite, and in spite of, introduce an idea of contrast. So you need two halves of a sentence. Despite our proper work ethic, we cannot finish this project on time. The first part is used to indicate the first idea, namely our proper work ethic. But as a result of other problems, you cannot finish this project in time. So the two halves here are our proper work ethic and we cannot finish this project on time.